Well, that's here to stay, according to the Commerce Secretary. How do we stop it? I mean, the Commerce Secretary says, well, the companies should take action.
Go back to a much more old-fashioned form of accounting and things. You know, I have a son who's so good with computers. He's a young person, and, I mean, he can make these things sing. And when you put everything on internet and on all of these machines, you never see a piece of paper. I really think you have to go back to a different form of accounting, a different form of compiling information, because anybody can break in. I mean, I see young people, they can't walk without computers. That what they can do with them is incredible. I'm witness to it because as a young person, my 15-year-old son is, you know, he's just a genius with this stuff. And you have people that are going to break into systems. I think you have to go back and you have to be much more reliant. There has to be much better security. And the kind of information they're getting is mind-boggling.
Okay, so he just basically said, let's go back to scribbling on paper. And Stuart Varney's only concern is, but that takes time. And that was the biggest pushback he gave in that entire interview with Donald Trump, was it takes too long to go back to paper, which you can then make sing.
First of all, I love that Trump is not able to name his son multiple times. I have
he did get the age right.
Which one? 15. But now we know that like Covfefe was an inside job. That was a Barron hit right there. Like Barron's been hacking his dad's phone like for years now. You guys realize that they do amazing things. Once I couldn't get in because, you know, the facial ID was changed. But like, yeah,
it doesn't.
So old man on porch at the end of the bar tells you another story about his son, which is just, he's just watching him do TikTok. That's all he's doing.
Our public schools have been taken over by the radical left maniacs. Here is my plan to save American education, restore power to American parents.
Okay, so I guess he is taking this presidential run seriously because he has now realized that while things like immigration stuff got the GOP fired up a ton like 6 years ago, now it's all about parents' rights. Because after all, every school kid is perpetually surrounded by LGBTQ pedophiles or whatever, or drag shows or something. I don't know, he doesn't know. He just got the memo that you're supposed to talk about schools. And so he's got some pretty insane proposals. Why don't we jump into a little bit of what he wants to have done?
We will cut federal funding for any school or program pushing critical race theory, gender ideology, or other inappropriate racial, sexual, or political content onto our children. We're not going to allow it to happen. Next, I will direct the Department of Justice and Education to open civil rights investigations into any school district that has engaged in race-based discrimination. That includes discrimination against Asian Americans.
I mean, like literally, Trump is worried about discrimination against Asian. He did the Coco Chow tweet like in the last 24 hours.
Yes, he did. Yes.
Again, and by the way, this ain't about discrimination against Asians, and it's sure ain't discrimination in the form it most often comes in America. The discrimination that will be investigated is, did you say white privilege? You be gone, banished from the country. That's what this is all utter nonsense. So if you teach CRT in second grade, which is the thing that happens, or gender ideology, which is like be gay or be bi, I don't know. Like if you do any of those things, then he wants to cut your funding. This is all just 2023 era culture war nonsense. But it shows that Trump is going to make a significant play in this area against Ron DeSantis, who is of course the king of this sort of hatred and xenophobia.
Oh, public schooling. How else can we defund you? Let me count the ways, right? Meanwhile, the DeVos family cashes in. Just like it is endless. And as someone whose brother works in public schools, like I have nothing but love and respect for the amount of work that teachers do, to say nothing of the crap that they have to fend off. But yeah, here you have Trump's trying to ride this gravy train. He wants a bite of this apple. And yay, let's keep going. Well, we'll just outlaw the word white. You can't say white anymore. That's coming because you can't just point out that someone is white. That in and of itself is racist according to them. I think my favorite part is the like anti-Asian racism because I think Elaine Chao spoke out about Trump's what Trump said about her on Truth Social recently. So maybe he's trying to mend that because he knows that like you can't just staff your White House with like squirrels, which at this point are the only people.
I'd trust him more.
I would honestly.
Trump is the China virus guy. He stood in front of a crowd of people and called a disease that was killing hundreds of thousands of people Kung flu.
Yep.
He's the champion that's going to end this anti-Asian racism.